Big day in the reptile room. You know that tent. This is a muscle rack shelf from Home Depot, hardware store. This is Eddie's Real Messy. And they moved in downstairs. And this is going to be Sam's house. It was Margot's old house. As you can see, she has more space now. So it's time to start getting this house ready for the ball python. She's in a 90-gallon right now, so this is going to be a little bit of an upgrade, but I think just the amount of floor space and usable space is going to be significantly more. Yeah, I gotta clean it up still, but here we go. This is going to be Sam's next enclosure. It's a 4x2x2 Zen Habitat PVC with acrylic doors. What you've missed so far is I added in a drainage layer. If you look closely here, you can see the clay leca balls. And then I put fabric liner all the way up because I don't like to, I want it to be black. And then I filled it with a mix of Rip-to-Chip and 70-30 play sand, or topsoil and play sand. Today's the day that I'm going to put the plants in. See if we can get them established before the little Sam moves in. I went out today and I bought this bulb from the PV Mart. It's rated much higher than what we need, and inside it's got a halogen. Oh, not that you can see really. An 80-watt halogen. I've got it hooked up to the thermostat here. That's probably not going to be my end situation, but we're going to see. I'm hoping to get a dimming thermostat going, but for right now it's set to an on-off, and I just want to see how much of the day it spends on and off. Getting it up to temperature. Okay. The plants that I'm adding are spider plants, philodendron, and golden pothos. All but one of the spider plants are grown from cuttings of plants that I bought for Eddie last year. Not all of my cuttings survived, but those are still added to the substrate as compost and isopod and springtail food. As you can see, these Zen Habitats enclosures have this hole in the back for cables, and I lost my cable cover, so I super glued in a bit of fake moss background. My LED lights will need to be wired from the inside, so I'm going to need to pry that out and reseal it. This time I sealed it with silicone because I was running out of super glue. A temperature gun is essential for any reptile keeper. I used to have a reptile branded one, but I lost it. This one is from the hardware store. I decided to move the hotspot over to the other side to match where Eddie's hotspot is, down below. Zip ties are the unsung hero of every enclosure build, both for securing things inside and for cable management. It took me an embarrassingly long time to realize that I could run the temporary LED power cable through the cable hole in the back and then close the doors completely as I built this enclosure instead of constantly unplugging it or leaving the door half open as I went. I used small pots as placeholders for where I wanted to put the hides that are currently in Sam's enclosure. To help her transition more smoothly, I brought over as much of the same furniture, hides, sticks, and flake plants from her old enclosure as I could, and I added a top layer of her old substrate to the tank when it was ready. While I'm not the best at keeping plants alive, something I have learned to help support them in enclosures is to add stones or cork at the base of smaller or weak-looking plants to keep their roots in place and protect them from being trampled. one day only use live plants, but for now, while things are growing, I have lots of fake plants for clutter. I tried out these baby locks for the doors, and they're actually working great. Also bought this curtain tension rod for more climbing. I might wrap it in twine later on. Here's the finished enclosure. There are 4 hides. I moved the tension rod under the UVB light to provide the correct height for a basking area. Here you can see the baby locks on each door. Okay, so the lighting. This is an Arcadia 7% Shade Dweller UVB. That's an 80-watt deep heat projector in the dome here on a thermostat for night heat, and a 75-watt halogen flood on a thermostat for day heat. T8 LED lights for plant growth. I still need to purchase a dimming thermostat so the light isn't always on and off, but for now it will at least keep the enclosure warm. All of the lights are also on timers. Here's the cable hole filled in with more fake moss wall background and silicone shut, as well as the LED fixture zip tied inside to the top bars. I also zip tied the cables together and to the roof posts to try and keep them out of Sam's way. Eventually I want to cover them somehow. And away she goes. I finished up decorating once she had settled in. I really hope she likes it.